Yes, we will watch He-Man. The watching of He-Man is what we will do. Into the castle of Podskull. It's manly and cheesy and rad, maybe a bit homoerotic too. He-Man, it was our favorite show. He-Man, let's watch it now that we're old. He-Man.
Hello and welcome to Castle Podskull, the podcast on which we dive deep into all things He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, but specifically the original 1980s Filmation cartoon. I am your host, Tom, aka Professor Xennial. With me, as always, is Kevin.
Hello, Kevin, our resident Dorco. Orko, excuse me.
Orko, Dorko, same thing.
Orko,
How you
Dorko.
been? How you been,
I've been
Kevin?
good.
Yeah?
I've been surviving the winter. It's nice. Today we had a little preview of spring. It was feeling like Eternia popping out here in Salem in the frozen north. Like that's what 40 degrees feels like after it's been like minus 10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here in New York. A little warmer, but still the same. Well, awesome. Well, we're going to get right into talking about the fifth episode of the He-Man Filmation series, I suppose, which is called Curse of the Spellstone.
Very apropos for the weather we've been having lately.
Oh yeah, look at that! Look at that! Nice little I love a little apropos episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was the fifth, and we will go ahead and we will just start our. If you're watching along, we are starting play on the episode now, and I will mute until we have something we want to hear. But we see our typical intro, Secrets of Castle Grayskull, and the Curse of the Spellstone, the fifth episode in season 1. Although I realized that is not the order that these were produced in. Interestingly enough, so there's a whole different production order. So that might explain some of the questions that we've already been raising about, hey, why are we already getting like a Teela backstory origin story thing
after episode 2?
In episode 2.
Like, wow.
Yeah, it's because they, I don't know how they decided which order to release them. Maybe just what was finished, but But there we go. There's the Lou Scheimer, executive producer.
Shiner.
This falls into the category of episodes I had no memory of, but I'm guessing most of them will.
Yeah. Also, I like anything, like, this is what I miss about the 80s. Like, not to spoil anything with this episode, but a lot of grounded things with very topical issues like weather and the impact and stuff that's really relevant now.
True. The weather's always relevant. I mean, yeah. It's the lowest common denominator for any conversation.
Yeah.
What's going on with the Spellstone lately?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are right in the Curse of the Spellstone. I don't have any information about the guys who directed this, but we're starting in space again, which is kind of rad. But then we're kind of jumping right into I guess no, not Snake Mountain. This is the palace. Or no, this is something else. This is a rad, weird golden temple that we're starting into in Lava Land.
Yeah.
And then boom, it is blasted open by Skeletor and by Evil Lyn.
Better be worth all this trouble, Evil Lyn.
It will be, Skeletor. That I promise you.
Yeah. That's kind of an odd shot right there, followed by that that weird shot, that weird like up nose shot as she's holding the Spellstone. I don't know, like Evil Lyn is kind of she's one where again the toy looks very different rather different from the figure. But yeah, I mean like she's got kind of an interesting it's just a couple of weird shots. So the Spellstone is, first of all, that's the MacGuffin of the episode, I suppose we would say, right? But it's not as... Look at this. By the way, look where I paused here. Look at, like, the distance between her mouth and her nose in this shot.
I know, right? Like she's about to snort that Spellstone, You know, this is also kind of making me think of, like, on the subject of, like, radiated or radioactive, like, MacGuffins. This is giving me this episode giving me a lot of heavy metal feels. Instead of we've got the green glowing marble. I forget what they call it in that, but this was making me think of that heavily. I got to go back and watch that.
Yeah.
Also, I was noticing this time, Evil Lyn, I love how her suit design, like, kind of, I feel like there's a lot of looks that are mirroring characters like Tila, like the kind of the curly
right.
serpentine stuff on hers, and like a darker version. And that's kind of like a cool thing that they're doing with cartoons, is like a counterpart to each person, and then like maybe a little bit of a different costume design or coloration on it.
Right.
And also look at how green and lush Eternia is.
Oh, super green. We just had a nice like 12-second pan across to the fertile valley to find the palace, which is very nice. And the nice like push in here. I just want to pause, and for no discernible reason,
The fur-kini, was that something that you noticed? Because that was the thing that I put in my notes. I was like, 305, Man-at-Arms, fur-kini. All of this time I didn't notice until this butt shot. It looks like he's wearing one of those kind of barbarian loincloths, which...
You're right, which is like... and again, like the toy, which I can show, like it makes more sense, but the toy has like... bracers on the upper well, I guess the lower I don't know, but it's like, yes, the fur-kini is a little odd. Like the number of situations in which it would be appropriate to wear a metal helmet and a fur-kini don't seem to align.
Well, it just seems like his whole design is like very futuristic armor. Like he looks like he's wearing like he carved out, like he killed an R2-D2 and he's wearing R2 as his battle helmet instead of like, some animal. Very futuristic armor, metal, all of that. And then on top. On top. And I always remembered, I thought it was like leg bracers, like metal, like he's supposed to be very futuristic, warrior. But then we have this kind of nod to the sword and sorcery, like it looks like he's just like a loincloth. Like I would expect, it's like He-Man. Is he wearing He-Man's tights? Ooh, is this some foreshadowing? Like, did he sleep over at He-Man's house last night? But we can't tell people in the 80s.
Maybe that's what happened. Yeah, it's like mech on top, sex on bottom, or something like that. But the other thing I wanted to point out is just like this nice way that King Randor's just
the total like
has his hand on his shoulder or back. It's like, again, I'm not saying it's homoerotic necessarily, but it is very friendly. It's a very friendly,
this
like
is the king
loving
and,
touch.
This is not like the kings that we're so kind of used to, like very separated. Like this is my bro. This is my man.
Yeah. He loves his men. He loves his son. Yeah. And we find Cringer kind of sleeping underneath the table here.
In that weird vase of some sort.
And once again, of course, we find Orko orking. And, he's doing this hand is quicker than the eye nonsense. That's a very funny face by Prince Adam. That is too.
I love the eye. Just...
No, my prince. The marvel is here.
Tila loves this. Everyone loves this.
A little too much. She's really into it.
These are very, like, again, Prince Adam also seeming stoned sometimes.
Yeah, like this episode, it just felt like they were all like a little spell-stoned. That should be the subtitle.
And now here we have this very special moment kind of 80s music.
So just what is it that this new invention of yours will do, Duncan?
But the topic of conversation is just the weather invention.
Yeah, exactly. This is my new portable vape.
Right.
It looks like he's got one of those like bubble things that kids have, like that little, like the radar thing on the top of that.
Little bubble wand. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this new invention of yours?
It makes bubbles anytime I blow into it. It's really great when you're high.
And he has a weather controlling satellite, which is essentially just, as we can see, like a basketball up in the air. And it can turn a cloudy sky to clear sky. So by all means, proceed. And then that's that is a basketball, by the way. But that is some powerful shit. Like, Man-at-Arms is able to control the weather. Like,
exactly. Yeah. Like this episode, we've set up Man-at-Arms is way more powerful, way cooler than just like, oh, he's your sergeant, lieutenant.
Oh, no.
Like, who needs a wizard when you can literally control the weather? Like,
Although he can't control it for long, it stops working and then it's destroyed by a lightning blast. And I like that their assumption is immediately not like, oh, this new invention that we just invented isn't working.
Yeah, it's clearly...
it's clearly magic.
Magic must be screwing with my technology instead of working the kinks out.
Yeah, although it is magic. They're talking about the Spellstone, so they've introduced the Spellstone, which... interestingly, neither of those words is storm, right? So it's not like the storm stone or something like that.
That's what I was thinking. The Spellstone just seems like something that you would have that, like, I don't know, maybe a trap spells and you can use them later. Again, all of my references go back to D&D. Like, it seems like something you like a ring of spell storing or something, but nothing connected to storm. Like, nothing like the weather bead or the storm pellet. It's the Spellstone.
Yes. And here, of course, at 4 minutes and 30 seconds in, we have a transformation into He-Man and Battle Cat again. Although I don't know what he's necessarily going to do about this. He's just going to, become He-Man and do that. And then we're into the midst of the tornado coming from the Golden Temple. And... oh, I hit...
It's evil. Soon all Eternia will be devastated, and I will reign supreme.
So that's the plan. It's just cause a storm and take over. Although, what I like about this is that Evelyn and Skeletor are once again fighting over who's going to get power, and then she turns into this,
than even this storm.
and she says this, like, terrible thing.
A voice in the crowd can do more damage than even this storm.
Shit, that is some
I was
deep
going to say,
words.
is this a reference to the old movie, A Voice in the Crowd? Because I wouldn't put it past the writers on He-Man. I was like, I thought the same thing when we got to that. I was like, what a cool idea. We chase around, we get these artifacts, but like immediately I'm going to try to cause dissent. And like that can do more damage. I was like, that again, very topical in the current
very
era.
relevant, very relevant to the social media age, this old woman. I just wanted to call out the shot here at 5:34. All 4 of our characters looking really awful. In this shot, Stratos at his peak Amish, and Ram Man looking very derpy, and
he
Battle
looks
Cat.
like John Belushi in a car crash. Like, he's just like, is that like, that has to be the explanation for the lack of no neck? Like, where's Elwood?
It's like if you took John, or I guess that's John, not Jim, but if you took a Belushi and like crunched, you know what it is? It's Belushi sushi. It's
Belushi sushi. You've just pushed him down.
Exactly.
Belushi sushi. Belushi.
Yeah, you've made like a little cylinder of Belushi, and He-Man just looks pretty stupid. But anyway, they're in the attack track, which was always a dope toy. And they're talking about the region of flame. So we're going to the Temple of the Fire People. Who are the Fire People? Glad you asked, Ram Man. They're heading over there to find the Fire People, and holy shit!
Look at this thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was like some badass.
Yeah,
the fire serpent thing.
That's pretty cool. It's like a snake with worm handles. Any ideas? Oh, electricity.
Electricity that works every time.
Yes.
Like, clearly he's played Mega Man 1, and if you go through, you defeat Fireman with electricity, and I'm like, oh yeah, like. Naturally, He-Man.
but spatially, the thing is picking it up from the ground, essentially from the lava, holding it directly over the lava, as we see. He-Man's big idea is shock it so it drops
us right into the lava, where we'll all surely.
It drops it very clearly somehow on the ground. That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
And then he goes back down. Okay, let's get back to that temple. Whatever. Okay, and we are moving. We are back. Okay, we are panning across the landscape, which is, again, very beautiful. For quite a long time, another 10 seconds or so. Just really taking our time to find that smoke. That weather vane is done, and
Yeah, I feel like this is just telegraphing, like, the effect man has on, global warming this whole episode. Like,
yeah. Man-at-Arms is using a hose, which is interesting. So what's interesting about that is that later in the series, they did have a hose-related character. His name was Snout Spout, and he...
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
He was an elephant. He was specifically the firefighter on Eternia. Like, he came with a firefighter's axe. But I guess they maybe didn't have that character designed yet by the time this one came out or something, because this would have been an optimal place to see Snout Spout use his thing. Anyway, Evelyn has somehow worked herself into the crowd, The transcriptions are saying Smellstone. That is a very different.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love the closed captioning on this. The A for effort AI. This is how we know we will never be replaced by machine. The Spellstone, which
stop, drop, and
I was
roll
gonna
there from
say.
Tila.
Also, making a note on that unintentional, like we have to have this combat roll with Tila instead of like over her head. We're gonna make the most sensual sexual roll out of danger. Like go back. That was definitely on my moments of animators put a little bit extra time into that.
Well, they always put a little time, like the way she's laying her butt.
Yeah, they're like,
definitely like, yeah. And you know, Evelyn has done that. She's used the Spellstone to strike lightning. And he's going to take her off. But then, you know, what are we going to do? Our house.
Burn to the ground. Everything we had is gone, Father.
What great acting from that lady.
Yeah, exactly. They seem really broken up.
Well,
Again,
like,
everybody in this episode is high. Like, but also with the way they look so high, you think they would be reacting much, much bigger to the fact that your house is gone.
Hey, man, what are we going to do? Yeah, we don't have that. Well,
how are we going to get to the show now, man? All our attack tracks have just caught on fire. This is a real bummer, man.
Yeah, and this was Cheech and Chong era, so they could have.
This totally was.
And yeah, I think what it is with all these voices is, as we know, it's like just, you know, it's kind of whoever is around is going to do the voice for whatever character. So it's probably like someone's assistant or secretary or like the intern doing voices for some of these people. So, you know.
The King's fault and man-at-arms.
And this wild-eyed gent.
What do you mean?
Believes her.
Their inventions have angered the elders of Eternia. They have brought forth this storm. The only way to stop it is to punish those who are responsible.
So what's interesting about that, I mean, first of all, I love it. Like, I love that, like, it's the king's fault, it's man-at-arms' fault. The only way to stop the storm is to punish. Like, that's some, like, crazy, like, propaganda stuff that's very cool. But it also implies the existence of so-called elders of Eternia, which we haven't heard of yet. And I wonder what that means.
Right.
She didn't say gods,
I feel like
which is interesting.
Gods or like, which is interesting. Which what I really love about the show is we get all this cool stuff and lore that's kind of piecing out, and we have the ancients and we have the elders. We have had like a time travel episode. Like they're slowly building up like all of this lore and backstory in Eternia, which is neat. Like, you know, kind of laying the groundwork.
It is neat, although I guess what I'm going to be looking for is, is any of it going to be consistent or brought up again?
Right, which I think is maybe they were still trying to figure that out, which is like the elders, which will give us a couple episodes whether we.
Well, I was thinking about elders because my guess is like they might have said gods, but you probably couldn't say that on television in the 80s, right? Like, I don't know.
That's what else I was going to say. Is that what they're afraid of? Like, if that was some of their warning, it's got to be educational, and you can't be teaching anything outside of.
This is Reagan's America, so I don't know.
This is Reagan's America. We've established that there is an Earth, so therefore, you know.
The woman is right.
The woman is right.
We save ourselves.
Also, can we just say immediately on board? Like, yeah, the woman is right.
The stranger is correct. Who do we have to kill now?
Yeah, this woman we've never seen before.
Or the elders will destroy us all. In ancient times, what was the worst punishment?
Oh, the creeping Horak.
The creeping Horak. I love that. I love, like, and this is strikingly accurate to today. I love how it goes from 0 to 11 in like no time.
Yes.
Oh, you must be wrong. It's like the equivalent of like, you know, the local tax collector took an extra %. Oh, you must be mistaken. No. Okay, well,
we have to kill him. Yeah,
let's put him in the Iron Maiden. Like, you know, that's basically what we're talking about. And it's the creeping Horak, which is an interesting name.
Which is neither creeping nor a Horak, as we will get into. Like, that is some fast-moving creeping.
That's true. But
we have very different definitions of creeping.
And different definitions of Horak. For instance, I don't have a definition of Horak, but we'll see. But where is the Spellstone? So they're at the temple. Is this what you're looking for? Okay, so we find that they're waiting for them.
Yes,
and we have our
favorite moment right here. He-Man pancaking robots.
Yeah.
And I think we were talking about this a couple weeks ago, just like coming up with creatures because he's never killing or hurting or blood,
Right.
but introduce a robot or a stone golem and he can punch the hell out of it.
Yeah.
But this episode, and also Battle Cat, like getting some zingers in there.
Oh yeah, like he says, just what I love. He says, yeah.
Just what I love. A great big toy.
And I love that he scares our robot. Not only does he slash it, like Battle Cat is kicking some serious ass in this episode.
So we've established that his claws, destroy metal, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So now the townsfolk have come to the door of the palace, and I do like they did take a second to animate them like looking over at the people in like this kind of like diffident kind of like these people again. Like take a look at the queen and the king. Like they're all just like, what?
Yeah,
heads are all
just
tilted
like,
aside.
Again.
What have you said? You've brought this curse upon, but Tila immediately knows somehow that that's Evil Lyn. And
also,
this man,
is he holding the box? That looks like the same box from the Dust of Disappearance.
That is exactly what I was going to say. The Diamond Ray of Disappearance.
Yep.
He got from the same store at the mall as they sell. So that implies a vendor of magical products that puts it in little boxes like this that everyone has access to.
Like the old guy from Gremlins. Like he's just got what would you like? Would you like a Diamond Ray of Disappearance that, or perhaps a
I'm sure his
fungus?
name is I'm sure his name is Vendor or something like
Vendor the Eldar.
Vendor the Eldar. Actually, what's funny is now that I look
that's a toy we should make is Vendor,
the
Eldar.
Actually, what I was going to say is there is like, and I wonder if this is where this comes from. There is this character that came out in one of the versions of. I'm trying to find a picture of him. Here, I'll put it on here. One of the things called Eldor, and
no way.
Now that it's not that character, he's like some magician. But now that I look at him, that is very. He looks.
Much oh my, that like is very much him.
This was one of those like prototypes that was never actually, as this guy calls out, he looks like Merlin, Gandalf, Santa Claus, and Kenny Rogers, but like, which I think is awesome. But he was one of the ones that like he's like a prehistoric wizard, but he was never actually produced, in the original thing.
Also, in keeping with something that we've been talking about, what is with the diet on Eternia or the environment? Go back if you can to the action figure. Picture.
Yep. You got it.
Everybody, even the wizard is a barbarian. He is swole. He is cut.
Yeah, he is cut. And specifically, his name is Eldor. Like that is the thing that he like. If you know anything about He-Man toys, right? It's like it's always like everyone's name is usually like some pun or it ends in. It's like it's not Webster, it's Webstore or like whatever. It ends in OR or AR. That's kind
OR
of the joke.
or man. Yeah.
Or man, yeah. And so he's Eldor. So his primary trait is that he is old. He is elderly.
Yeah.
And yet he's cut like that. Yeah, you're right. I think this.
He's like the superhero of the elderly. Like he's able to go out and shop all by himself.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, if we have other elderly, maybe they could have gone with like geriatrics.
This is like Ben Kenobi
he, like,
on
does
steroids.
Correct. You're right. It's very Ben Kenobi, but like this, it's the same guy. I don't know, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
We must save ourselves anyway. Give me the creeping Horak. He's not sure. This guy. He's like, please don't use the creeping Horak. It's too terrible. And then Tila kind of comes out and does this. Good aim from Tila.
Yeah.
And she immediately turns into Evil Lyn. And, people are afraid. They don't seem to care. And she just takes it and chucks it.
Chucks it at. This is what I love. That it immediately that seems like the most dangerous artifact. Like you drop it, it immediately just releases. And of note, not creeping. That is
No,
like
no,
very
not creepy.
fast acting Horak.
Yeah, that's yes,
That is like the symbiote, the Venom
that is
symbiote on
that is
steroid, on
instant
cocaine.
release Horak, not extended release Horak.
Yeah.
But what it does, we get an explanation here. It's like it squeezes out. It was used to punish criminals. They'd be locked in their houses, and the Horak would grow over it until all the air was squeezed out. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, this is like horrifying.
That is dire stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, crazy. So again, there must have been a medieval past. Oh, that's kind of a fun moment from Hercules, from He-Man. Ram-Man is going to try the same exact move that He-Man did, and he flattens them out, does the pancake move, which is very fun. Stratos is just going to fly away. So that's his move. And yeah, that's all Stratos can do, you know? Take a look at Stratos's gnarly teeth there if you can. Like, where are you, Stratos? Like,
now he's looking even more like Amish ape, like.
Yeah, he's very ape-like here, right?
Yeah,
very ape-like.
Or kind of country bumpkin, like he just looks like he has a meth lab in the sky. Like, hey, He-Man, you want to get some tickets to Skinner?
yeah, exactly. A meth lab in the sky. Well, I just don't understand. I don't understand Stratos. He is of another race, right? He is not human. We've established that he is of the avian bird people. Here's what he doesn't look like. A bird.
Yeah, at all. No. Not at all. He-Man looks more bird-like than he does. He looks like maybe he was adopted like Tarzan for these bird people,
or like
and
Elf.
Like, like Elf, and they're like,
yeah. You're a bird person. Don't worry about it.
You're totally a bird person. Look, we gave you feathers just like the rest of us. And looking at those teeth, he maybe doesn't seem to be the brightest bird person in the nest. He'd be like, oh yeah, me am bird person, definitely.
Yeah, the only problem is I think later they do show other people like from his realm, but it's like, is the gray here's like, he wears goggles all the time, right? Like, so obviously the goggles are so that he could fly better, which again is not like, and we've talked about the feathers are strapped on, but also his color scheme never made sense to me, because it's like, you know, is he like, so the red is his hat, is the gray his skin? But then not on his face? What's going on?
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, I was trying to figure that out. Is it supposed to be some sort of, like, skin suit? But he clearly has a beard. But what the fuck do those feathers don't do anything? And I think he mentions here in a minute, I was like, I almost hit my tail feathers. And I'm like, you have no tail feathers, man.
We have the toy. He's got a fur-kini, same as everyone else.
He's got a fur-kini. There's zero. The only feathers you have, you've strapped onto you sad Amish ape man.
But he does manage to, you know. Now here, 1057, we have this little weird interplay. Why doesn't Battlecat just bite this robot? Like, we know he can.
Yeah, or just, you know, it looks
right there. Like, he could do that.
Yeah. How is that thing suddenly he decides to, you know, pounce it. Oh, this is one of my favorite lines. Between a cat and a robot.
Yeah, there is a big. You're right. There is a big difference between a cat and a robot. That's kind of like. That line reminds me of like the famous like X-Men movie line.
Oh yeah, exactly. Do you know what
happens
to a toad when it gets struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to any creature. I was like waiting for it. Like they were like, "Oh, we're gonna have such a great zinger with this at X-Men." And I was like, "That's it."
Cool, Storm. Cool, but at least this one is not, you know, delivered. A cat lands on his feet. Okay, so there at least is a, you know, your robots are nothing more than scrap metal Skeletor, and as for you, not so fast, He-Man. Behold. And we've seen this trick before. He's going to create like a robot or something, but actually he just opens a door, like a portal. There's a needlessly long bit where he watches everybody run through in the portal.
Yeah, exactly.
And they react. And then they watch the creeping Horak. And of course, here we have our trapdoor moment, which they should have seen coming if they had bought any of the toys. There's always a trapdoor in them.
There's always a trapdoor in every toy.
And so they fall, and here are these mighty, mighty people in the dungeon, which I think is our first dungeon, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And this gets a little dark, where he's just like, and now I'll drown you. I was like, whoa. He's kind of up the ante in this episode instead of like, here's an easily escapable thing. It's like, no, I'm going to flat out drown you.
Yeah, although, like, again, with a guy that can fly and He-Man, it seems like they should be able to just bust right through that trap door.
That's what I was just going to say. Or just pick him up over the water and fly you to safety.
Now, I love this. Watch He-Man and watch his mouth disappear as he runs.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like one of the cells of animation is missing.
They're like, is missing, and it's like, oh, we'll fix it later.
Yeah. So, anyway, we have a little...
Never fear, fool. There is no way out.
So it's an oubliette, right? It's a dungeon with only, an exit from the top. Although, again, it does have an exit to the top. So He-Man and friends should be able to... Mm-hmm. Of course, we also know, now we're back to the palace. And in here, basically, Man-at-Arms is going to lead them to the panic room.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Jesus. And it's like, not for nothing. If this is some sort of ancient punishment, you would think that the palace maybe has, I don't know, some sort of antifungal spray powder. This is what I'm going to say.
Some technology. The man can control the weather.
I was just going to say, we had a Lou Scheimer punch that didn't destroy anything. Like I'm so accustomed to every time we've had the punch, I hear Scheimer in my head. And I was like, I was stunned when, suddenly he's met a wall that he can't destroy with a Scheimer punch. But, thankfully the ground is porous. They find a way. He's like, he can smash right through.
None of this makes sense, honestly, because it's like so Stratos literally teed it up for him. I wish we had a trapdoor right now. You do, but it's above you.
But it's that I could fly us to. It's like, let me think of reasons to make me not useful to us. Like, there's a thing 10 feet above us. Good thing I can only fly 9.5 feet. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's always putting Stratos keeps putting a ceiling on top of himself. So he's
Stratos has very self-limiting beliefs. He's very insecure. We're learning this.
Well, it's probably because, as we've established,
his teeth are terrible.
His teeth are terrible. He's got a meth castle in the sky.
He's got a meth mouth.
He was an elf orphan. He's not a real avian. He was raised by them.
Yeah.
He's.
But also, again, like He-Man can't destroy the wall, but he can destroy the floor, the ground, which is presumably like deeper. But we've seen him use that punch to destroy mountains before.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's going to take the water out. How do we get out of here? Look up. Okay. Oh, now all of a sudden there's a stairway.
Also, was that just a magic door? Like this was like a video game. If I punch the ground, it summons and.
Yes, because someone saved them, and we see it as the fire people.
Now these guys. Love this effect. These guys are pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll see them again in a minute. First, we have to go back to the panic room.
Oh
how is fire going to work? Yeah, fire is usually a pretty good bet against a monster for the same reason that it's, the same toad thing. It works on most things. But
if you don't have electricity, kids, just get a bunch of fire. Yeah. Also, I was just going to say, like, didn't they already establish that this thing squeezes the air out? So let's start lighting some fires. Probably not the best idea, right? Like, that's how people died. They suffocated. Yeah. So let's just try to fight it with some fire. Yeah, good idea.
All right, speaking of fire, this is cool. I like this sort of like, it's like there's 2 or 3 frames to the fire people. They just stand there and flicker. But that fire cat, Helios King of the Fire People, that's pretty cool looking.
Yeah. It made me think a little bit of like the Lord of the Rings cartoons, the kind of rotoscope.
Yeah, that's totally what that is.
Yeah.
But the Helios, and the fire people, they're not friends because they think that like they stole the Spellstone. And he sends that.
Also,
look at that. That's
if
cool.
These are fire people, which we've established, I assume they like come out of the lava, immediately touching them. Oh, I love this. Fire Cat just whomps Battle Cat, right?
Yeah.
But shouldn't they, like, as soon as I just would assume fire people would be at minimum hot to the touch. Maybe you wouldn't want to grab, like.
And they have a pterodactyl, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they got a lot of cool creatures that, of course, shoots fire.
Right, which is if he's also if he's made
janky teeth. What? Not today. I
Not
just
the-
expect him to sound like Boss Hogg or somebody out of the Dukes of Hazzard. Like, just, oh, you think my goose was about to be cooked? Not today, mother trucker. Hey!
Hacksaw Jim Duggan or
Hacksaw
something.
Jim Duggan.
Yeah, but they also have a fire pterodactyl who spits fire, which is the same as like a regular pterodactyl who spits flesh.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I will spit that of which I am made.
Made of. And it's like, I was almost expecting, should he shrink as he's like doing that? Anyway.
Yeah. Again, more running
This
from the
panic room
horror.
is very deep. Like,
Yeah, we're running out of rooms. Yeah, we've got like it's a panic suite. He's got a cool ass blunderbuss or something.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, I love the
doesn't do
design on his
anything.
guns, but it doesn't do anything.
Okay, into the final panic room.
Yeah.
Here's the question. Why not run out the back door? Doesn't the palace
That's what I
have
was
a back
thinking.
door?
Like, maybe just like, or lure it somewhere else. Like, maybe that.
I can understand if they don't want to destroy the palace, but like, like, okay, but it's in there.
Yeah, it's already
like,
in there.
You know what the creeping?
You're gonna give it. We're gonna at some point. What was their plan? Make it tired? Like
Yeah.
run fire?
Make you understand we're friends. Fire people don't make friends with thieves.
It's pretty cool. I like the fire
Burn.
people.
I
I
won't
love
fight.
that. Like,
I won't
fire
fight you,
in the
says
dark.
He-Man.
Oh,
Yeah, and all his friends are chasing him, and we have another cat-on-cat standoff.
yeah. I
That
like
one
this.
nearly
scene.
singes my tail feathers. Yeah.
Yeah, right. This tail feathers. But this was cool because I feel like everybody in the party has been like matched off, and it seems like for once they don't have the upper hand, which I thought was really cool because like right away we've established how badass Battle Cat is in every episode.
That's true.
This episode he's slicing robots with just his claw. This thing immediately shows up, and that cat just boof punches.
He knocked his sword out. I mean, he after saying he's going to not fight him, he immediately starts fighting him. I'm noticing also the fire people are like fuzzy. Okay, here's what I don't get. So the dragon worm thing gets the king, which is like, I don't know. I'm a little confused because, I mean, I guess this dragon worm also is resistant to fire because it lives in lava, so it would need to be. I guess I just assumed that it would be under the thrall of the fire people, but obviously not.
It's kind of like you assume that this would be their creature, like this is their domain, but nope.
So how is He-Man going to solve this problem? He could kill the worm, which is what you would do, and if this were
Every
movie.
solution this episode, let me throw a rock at it and choke this giant thing. And again, catches a guy that we've established, we assume is made of molten fire, and He-Man catches him and doesn't immediately engulf in flame or go ouch.
Yeah. And now go in peace. May you find the Spellstone. So now we're friends, you know?
We're friends. Hey, anybody that'll choke out a dragon and catch my ass, you're my pal.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, it's our last chance. But yeah,
this
boom,
is the
there's
real
nothing we can
panic
do.
room, by the way, if you've been following at home.
Yes. They, again, we're just really spending our time panning around the room, and now we're back to outside. By the way, very little of this, I'm noticing, actually has anything to do with storms.
Right.
Okay.
Which seems to be a bit of the dust of disappearance turns things to stone, or a ray of
So what does the Spellstone do? It just messed up. It caused a storm. That was Skeletor's whole plan. Okay.
Yeah.
But really, it's taking, like, okay, if this were a little bit more taught story-wise, they wouldn't have asked some village elder, what's the worst thing you can think of, throw it at the palace. They would have used the Spellstone on the palace.
That's what I'm thinking. I feel like they introduced something, and it's like, I'm going to use the Spellstone to control the weather. And I'm like, oh, he's going to unleash terrible storms. And then the idea is, we'll do this, and then we'll go inside and hide in the crowd and kill them with gossip.
Exactly. It's sort of the equivalent of, like, I have attained the Spellstone. Its powers are incomparable. So you're going to use that against He-Man? No, I will use it to clear up traffic so I can buy a gun or something like that. You know, it's like It's like
You can go right this way. If you have a gun, why don't you just shoot him? No, I need to destroy his credit rating first. Like, what?
Who will stop me?
And I like this part.
How about me, Skeletor?
Oh, not that part. But there's like a little moral lesson, a nice ab shot as he walks towards him.
What has he got, a 25 pack?
Yeah. There he goes, walking at us twice in a row from the same exact angle. Little sword fight, which we don't see that commonly between the two of them. There's the Spellstone. Now, I think, if I'm correct,
See, this is what I was expecting with the episode. They would just have like summoned
this
a
is
tornado and just ripped it apart.
Oh, everyone's flying through the air with a derpy kind of sound effect. Stratos can reach the Spellstone, and again, this would be the time if he was a really powerful. Now here, it's our fault. Let's do something about it. Here comes John Q. Public and an old man, and he takes the Spellstone. And of course, what's great. Well, two things to point out. One is, what is Trapjaw wearing? Why does he have just a sword on his arm? That is his most useless weapon, because it has less reach than a man with a sword would have.
If He-Man falls on me, I can impale him.
Yes. So that's pretty dumb. But the second one is the old man. It's not, I guess the Spellstone, it's like anyone can touch it. It's not like one of those crazy things that like shrivels you up if you touch it or anything like that.
Or he immediately, like, maybe is that the thing, like, if you know how to use it, it turns on, but if anybody else that doesn't know it just deactivated it instantly.
There's
nice
our butt shot. Yeah.
But
person, here's our moral, one of our morals, right?
That's what I like about this episode. The people actually save the day instead of the heroes.
Oh crap! Which would be nice if that happened in current day situation.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But we'll see.
Yeah,
I have my doubts. But they can't believe it. Here we go. Here's the fur-kini launch again.
A person doesn't need superpowers to be a hero. All he needs is bravery.
Nice.
You hear that, kids?
You forgot
Hear
that,
kids?
Skeletor.
Hear that, America?
The only thing that can destroy the Hordak is the Spellstone, and I command it to return to the region of flame.
He commands the Spellstone to return to the region of flames, not to like himself. Like, if he could do that,
it's like, let me put it back to whence it came, because we're getting to about 3 minutes until the end of the episode. So let me create a nice resolution.
Yeah.
And this is great. I command it to return. One would think that it immediately appears there. No, it very smoothly, very slowly goes like levitates.
Slow enough that He-Man can sprint after it, which he can sprint very fast. My question is, what if it runs into something? Is it going through it, or does it know to like navigate around obstacles?
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's got drone technology, and it's like, let it reset to where I launched it.
Yeah. Now the Hordak has suddenly stopped its advance just to threaten them, and but here we go. He-Man is going to catch up with the Spellstone. Got it. That's pretty cool. And he stops himself, and his hair moves a little bit, and he throws it with deadly accuracy.
Deadly accuracy, just in the region of the Hordak, and immediately the result destroys, just fades.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Because we were at 2 minutes until the closing time, so we need to wrap this stuff up,
Yeah, we'll meet up with them again. What about the Spellstone? It's gone back to the fire people, we can assume.
Yeah, I love that as soon as it hits the Hordak, it immediately teleports. But if you send it back, it has to arbitrarily drive itself.
The sky is clear and the birds are singing.
The only thing missing is a rainbow.
Which is could be a rainbow. That could be a slight gay nod. We'll see.
Yeah, it could be.
Rainbows are always missing. And of course, Orko is going to try to make a rainbow, and he does. There you go. And Adam is very happy about that rainbow, as we see. He is, we can see that reaction right there. Sorry about that. Yep, he's ecstatic.
Again, he's still high.
One eye is just a little bit too dilated.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, somebody's been getting into the whippets. He's like, you know what would make that rainbow really great? Some Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he changes it to rain. Oh, what a doofus. There he goes, orking again. But we all laugh at that. That's very funny. And then we're on to the moral of the story. After our extra long establishing shot. And the moral of the story is...
You've all seen how Orko's magical tricks don't always go the way he planned. Sometimes they backfire on him. The same thing is true of practical jokes. Sometimes they don't go the way you planned, and you or someone else can get hurt. So be sure and think twice before playing a joke or a trick on anybody. Might not go the way you planned, and someone could wind up losing a finger or an arm or maybe even an eye.
What the hell, Man-at-Arms?
Yeah, the stakes on this. Now, this is what I wanted to know. I was like, what's going on in the writer's room? Is there some guy that's like, like missing an eye or a finger or an arm? Like, what happened to these writers when they were kids?
He's the inspiration for Trapjaw. He's just got he's missing an arm, and he's like, when are we going to do an episode telling kids to watch out for alligators? Oh, okay, yeah. Clyde, we will get to it.
Smoke dynamite.
Yeah, we will get to it. No, 100%. We went right to don't do practical jokes because you will lose a finger or an eye. Yeah, not appropriate. Again, though, this is the era of like lawn darts and things like that.
Oh God,
so,
yeah.
You know, I suppose we all knew a kid. Like I knew a kid who sat on a pencil and busted his scrotum. So it's like I guess there's like
or maybe something went wrong with one of the toys, and they were like, we need to tell people, don't put He-Man's sword in a light socket.
My bigger issue with that moral is, I mean, okay, it's correct, but Orko plays a trick that goes wrong in literally every episode. So it's not like super relevant to this one, whereas we had a great moral, which is you don't need to have superpowers, just bravery.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, wait, we jumped the gun.
Moral.
That's a much better moral. And I was like, whoa, wait, we're burying the lead here.
Or, don't be swayed by, propaganda.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are the things that's like really good for kids to learn? Like, hey, don't be swayed by propaganda. Or you have, like, this show is all about empowering you. You don't have a magic sword, but you can do good things without being a superhero.
Right. So the fact that this show in specific didn't reference that is why we are where we are now politically in America right now. I blame you. Season 1, episode 5 of He-Man, The Curse of the Spellstone, for the current political climate of mistrust.
If you reversed it and had that happen and then have bravery be the ending, that would have stayed with everybody.
There you go. Okay, so that's the episode. What do you think manliness? There wasn't a lot of manly in this episode. I don't think.
There was a lot of catly. I feel like Battle Cat was really picking up the manly catliness there.
You're right.
Between
this is for sure a Battle Cat episode. Yeah.
Yeah, this was totally like Battle Cat's time to shine episode.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. He was pretty cool. I don't think He-Man did all. I mean, like throwing the boulder is fun, but the fact that He-Man couldn't figure out a way out of the oubliette dungeon like that to me feels like I don't know, man. I'm
a little disappointed in Mr. Clever. Like lightning is always the solution. Immediately, oh, we just fell through a trap door. I have no idea I can't break this wall. We're stuck forever.
I'm a little disappointed with the intelligence of our heroes in general. For Queen Marlena, who is an accomplished scientist, and Man-at-Arms, who literally invented something that controls weather, to not think of running outside is bewildering to me as well. So
or flying away. Like we have all of these flying vehicles. Let's just fly away from this.
You've literally established that you have vehicles that you can jump out of a window and think and it comes to get you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so no manliness in this episode. What about rad moments?
A lot of rad moments actually. I was thinking the pancaking when He-Man punches and pancakes the robots, that was nothing but rad sequences. We had everybody pancaking them, even getting the great little like Ram Man slamming into the wall and they kind of peel off, the robots peeling off. But I'm just kind of going through the notes. There was one thing, oh God, I think the fire people I really like their design was really cool in this. And I just like kind of that shimmer effect that they had.
Yeah,
really
I think they're my favorite too.
Yeah, and we're talking about this. It's like, yeah, this was a little lackluster in the He-Man awesome stuff because his solution is, I've seen this in multiple episodes. I'm going to throw a boulder into that thing. I have this amazing magic sword, but let me throw a boulder and smash the ground or choke. I guess it was pretty cool to throw a boulder into the mouth of the fire serpent and choke it, but I don't know. I feel like other people, this was more of their time to shine.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fire
totally.
people were really cool. Really like their look.
Yeah, I think the fire people were really cool, and it's like I like that kind. Like if this was a show that had been planned out better, because I think spoiler alert, it seems like every episode was pretty much written and directed in kind of a silo, and they just like did a bunch of them and weren't even sure what order. So if they were building this out like smartly, like the Kevin Smith one does, for instance, in like rolling a show out, in chronological linear sense, and doing so with a mindset of like, how can we sell toys? For instance, like the fire people, that would have been cool to see, and maybe they do come back in future episodes. But like a moment like that is like, great. Now we see you befriend the fire people, and then like Fireman, whatever, comes back as one of your allies. Like that would seem like a really useful dude to have on your team also,
Yeah, exactly. And sort of build out like the cast of heroes and kind of lore build at the same time.
Yeah.
I was also going to say I really like the attack track.
Attack track's cool.
One of my, like, that was the thing. I was like, I remember this from the show. I love that. Such a cool little design. And funny because it like moves so fast, but when you look at it, like it just seems like it defies. Like, how is that instead of just like a continuous tread?
Yes, it doesn't work. There's no way that machine works, but it does look cool. Yeah, I also thought, like, as far as like rad, I thought the creeping Horak was actually like more scary than it had any reason to be. Like that's the scary thought,
Yeah. Also, like, Man at Arms, like really showing to be Eternia's Batman. Like, I built this thing that controls the weather. Like, just. Yeah, why not? I thought that was like really showcasing like he's got like all this other stuff going on instead of just like kind of utility fighter. Like he's got some really cool gadgets and shit. But yeah, the creeping Horak was like really freaky and awesome.
In terms of inappropriate, I mean, we didn't have much, but certainly the moral of the story is, I think, inappropriate to kids. I mean, it's not inappropriate. They should learn it, but it just seems arbitrary to not lose a finger in the eye. But otherwise, not too much. A couple of the usual weird shots where people look a little too sexy or a little too high.
I did think there was a moment at the beginning which was really kind of funny, like Orko's doing his tricks and Prince Adam just happens to be a master at sleight of hand. And it's like, well, there's a lot of my tricks. A magician never, they're just the wink, a magician never reveals his secret, and he kind of looks at the camera and like, oh yeah, we know.
We know your secret.
We know your secret, Adam.
Well, speaking of that, that's the homoerotic stuff. And there's not much in here either. There's just a couple, again, slight nods of like, just like, let's just call it really great friendship between men, and that's fine. Like Randor and Man at Arms and like all this stuff. But yeah, nothing overtly homoerotic, I don't think. So what figure do you want?
Oh, I'd say probably the fire people. I think that was something I thought was like a really cool. Fire people were really awesome. Although like Evil Lynn was like, this was an interesting episode because I feel like kind of the side characters were getting more of the spotlight. Like Skeletor kind of gets out of the way, and it's like Evil Lynn is kind of stealing the show on this one.
That's true. But this is kind of her jam. Yeah. Well, let me think about this one. I what I really wanted to do was build a really dope fire person because and my thought for that was I was going to try and like make a mold and like of a figure and like with clay or silicone or something like that, and fill it with like clear resin if I could manage to get that process working, or even just like hot glue. It would be super shitty, but like hot glue and then like have it painted red. But like the effect would be sort of like, like there were some toys where it's like if you shined a light in the top of their head, their eyes would come. So I was going for that, but I couldn't actually get it built. There was no time
like,
to do it. But
I don't know if you remember. I think it was called the Inhumanoids.
Yeah.
They were like these giant like creatures underground, and
I
the
do
fire
remember
people.
that. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? I've been trying to find
yeah.
that forever, and like the fire people kind of reminded me of one of those toys, like you said. Like they had this like weird plastic like in the eye and inside, and if it hit light, it like lit up, which was really cool.
The 3 options that you mentioned, and the first is, one that you mentioned that would be cool to have, which is Evil Lyn, and this is the Masters of the Universe Origins Evil Lyn. She doesn't look exactly like the cartoon, but I thought that she'd be good because she is holding something that looks like it could kind of be the Spellstone, like on a stick.
totally, like a spell staff.
I think that's what that's supposed to be. So she's one option that you could buy from us, the official Castle Podskull version of Evil Lyn, which is the same. And then of course we have this dope Battle Cat,
nice.
The Origins version of Battle Cat, which I like because the mouth actually opens and shuts, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Which the original toy didn't, and it turns and everything like that. So this I would consider. And my third option is the LVP of the show, the least valuable player, which is going to be
Stratos. God, yeah, Stratos.
But specifically, this is the cartoon version of Stratos, and you can see like they did capture his like ape-like idioticness, and of course his complete lack of tail feathers.
Yep.
So somewhere also I do have an Amish hat.
My God!
For figures that if I can find it, I'll pop it on his head.
You get an Amish hat and like a trident that almost looks like a pitchfork.
Yeah,
because he totally just looks like Amish ape. Like every time I just want him to
All right. Well, I'll make a Stratos that has a pitchfork in one hand, a banana in the other, an Amish hat, and we'll go to town on it. And if I can figure out a cool way to make the fire people, I'll reveal those in a future episode. How about that?
Yeah, I love that.
So that brings us to the end. So next time we will be looking at episode 6, Time Corridor.
Ooh.
And until that time, Corridor. Have a great time, good journey, and the power be with you.
Power be with you. Good journey.